Okay, so we're coming up for the starting of my second quick lap. That is the beginning of the pit straight. You see going second, third, fourth, fifth gear and sixth gear all the way with one hand on the steering wheel, braking hard for the quick chicane, down to fourth gear, hit the curb, up to fifth gear, accelerating fast, and then there's a big brake point for the slow section, the second gear session, sliding around and trying to put the power down. Going around those bends only one gear, second gear, and the difficult thing is to put the power down. Now you go through the gearbox again, third and fourth, and going fourth gear to this S session, then hard braking again, down to second gear, and then power down second, third, fourth, fifth gear to the quick corner of the circuit, down to fourth gear, into the main straight, and there you put the whole power of the Honda engine, and we reach about 290 kilometers. I'm coming up to those slow cars, and I had a big of a problem to stop the car there, inside line, slide around. I had to be in first gear instead of second, then you go second, third, quick round the left hand, second gear corner, accelerate again through the gearbox, third, fourth, fifth gear, quick corner here, big brake for the corner before the pits, second gear, and just finishing the lap, sliding around, all the power down, wheel spinning, and getting a very good lap. It was an exciting lap for me. Very difficult under the circumstances of damp circuit, getting dry right at the end, and as you can see, going across many cars which were taking...
Well, it sounds like he's lost all drive. I mean, it doesn't sound like he's... No, he's off. That's very strange, isn't it? Unless he was waiting, maybe he looked in front of him and saw a car up a bit more and wanted to ease off and give him a bit more breathing space for a clear lap. I think what he was doing then was establishing a gap, and he will go for it now.
Yeah, well, I think he's going for it. I wasn't conscious of a car going past. However, it doesn't matter. Here, we're into the S's, and Ayrton Senna has done 3 of his 12 laps, so he's got plenty of track mileage left.
See, what he would have done, Murray, he can actually radio into the pits and say, listen, is there a car in a catchable distance in front of me? And they might have said, yes, there is, such and such is only about 5 or 6 seconds in front of you. So then he decided to ease off down the straight, increase that gap to say 11 or 12 seconds to make sure that if he does go on a blinding lap, he will not end up right behind a car with a couple of corners to go before the finish line.
Right, Senna second fastest this morning, 4/10 of a second slower than Alain Prost, who has yet to put up a time this afternoon. This is very slowed up on the previous lap. No signs of it this time. Down into second gear. Now watch his line. Senna is not as smooth visually as Prost always is, but my goodness, he is mighty quick. Fastest lap so far, 1 minute 14.459, that of Gerhard Berger in the Ferrari. And Ayrton Senna, 1.2 seconds off the pace, nevertheless moves up to...
They call it the ultimate event, and for good reason. No show on earth combines excitement, glamour and visual thrill like Grand Prix racing, and the Australians have come to appreciate that. The Adelaide Street Circuit is widely accepted as the best of its kind in the world. Race commentator Tony Jardine takes us round a lap of the track with Ayrton Senna.
Ayrton Senna, the new world champion in his McLaren, a master at Adelaide, but he's never won here before. Going along with him on a lap up to the first chicane. Note those big curves on the inside and the outside. They look relatively flat, but they're not. They're quite dangerous. Look at the shake inside the cockpit as well. A tremendously difficult job for the drivers here in Adelaide. Concrete walls lining the edge of the track. The surface looks smooth, but it's not. It's low grip. Look at the way Ayrton Senna's having to work in the cockpit now. As he heads towards East Terrace and towards Stag Bend, you can see the pubs and clubs on the left. Here's Stag, infamous corner up on those big curves, which can launch the car perilously towards those unyielding concrete walls. Senna now up into sixth gear. He's gone along the Jones Straight, along the Brabham Straight, flat out now. Tremendous speed, nearly 200 miles per hour. And down at the bottom, it's from sixth down into second gear, a very tight hairpin right-hander, and then a flowing left. But look at those curves, look at the traps there. And Senna, accurate as ever, despite the bumps, and the shaking about that he receives inside the McLaren. The last corner back onto the pit straight, a vital one, and you can see how close the wall and the marshals there are as Senna completes a lap in the McLaren Honda.
There's De Angelis behind him. They've got the wings set up to give them the best possible compromise between downforce and speed on the straight, and you can tell from the way that Senna is throwing the car about as he comes up behind Philippe Streff, the Frenchman, who moves over and gives him room. That was a good bit of driving. Streff used his mirrors intelligently. He cleared the way for Senna, and Senna is blasting, James.
Yep, Senna is very much on a quick one. We tend to think of him as being very experienced. Yesterday he showed a bit of an experience. He was a bit untidy with the car in, as it were, trying too hard. He was pushing too hard, got a bit ragged and didn't go very well. His opening lap here today when he had his first run was very much better, and he looks pretty smooth this time because he's got something like just over half a second, or just under half a second, I should say, to make up on Nigel Mansell, and believe me, he'll be very keen to get another pole position. So Ayrton Senna absolutely on the limit. Into the apex, getting the line through the corner, making the corner, smoothing it out as best he can, just clipping the curb there on the inside and then sliding it out to the exit, riding up the curb. And this is sensational. And I have to say, I don't think anybody's going to beat that. If I had to put money on it, I'd say that won't be beaten today.
Senna sets off at a blistering pace. There's soon a danger he will run out of fuel on the circuit, and the pit wall team decide to call him in. But his radio button is stuck on transmit. He can't hear his instructions and doesn't know why.
Come in very slow, you're running out of fuel. Why don't you talk to me on the radio? Very slow, radio stuck on. Very slow lap. Very, very slow lap.
Ironically, as he calls in vain to get orders from the pit wall, he drives the fastest lap of the day. He ends the session in pole position.
Just as well the radio button's stuck. Quite useful, that. Jesus.
It's a good thing it did. You'd have told him to come in if it
arrived for the season's final Grand Prix, facing an investigation next week following the alleged punch-up in Japan. Senna confronted Irishman Eddie Irvine after being upset with the Jordan driver's tactics in the Japan Grand Prix. A relaxed Senna today has dismissed speculation the feud between the pair will continue in Adelaide.
I haven't come to Australia a long way to have aggravation. I have come to have a good time. Australia is the last race season. It's a special atmosphere. It's really a party time here for all the fans and also for Formula One. So I have come here. I was looking forward to come to Adelaide, and I hope we'll have a very good weekend.
Senna says Irvine's inexperience caused the incident in Japan, and he's hopeful the Irishman won't repeat the same driving tactics.
I happen to be 3 times world champion and 40 times winner, and he was doing his first race in Australia, in Japan. He was out of order, by all means. When a leader comes, the back marker should make way, and I lost 15 seconds behind him during 5-10 laps. I think that says it all.
The Brazilian champion expects to soak up the local hospitality over the next few days before getting down to the business of Formula One racing.
This happened. This is the rear view from Martin Brundle's Brabham. There's Nelson Piquet behind him, and Piquet pulls out of the way, and then suddenly out of the gloom comes Ayrton Senna. Wham!
Jaws 3. Senna had no chance whatsoever. He thought that Piquet had pulled over to let him through.
He booted the throttle, and in a flash, in an instant, through the fog and through the rain, there was Brundle.
Everything was okay other than it was a complete joke. I mean, there was debris all over the place. I got a headache like there's no tomorrow, so I probably had a little bit of concussion.
I think it doesn't really matter whether they start or don't start the race. We've won the Constructors' Championship because Williams needed to win.
I don't think that was a race, first of all, because it was just a matter of staying on the circuit, and there was not a point to try to go quick at all.
Yeah, what we're coming to here is what was renamed the Senna, and it's a series of left, right, left S's. Ayrton qualified on pole here, I remember in '86 because I was here for that race. I was here for every race actually.
Yeah. Well, you were supporting someone else, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah,
I was,
so what's that story?
I was supporting Nigel Mansell, yeah. So if you come through here, left, right, left, is the actual section of the track that was referred to as the Senna.
It's a bit of an S-shaped corner.
Yep.
I remember seeing Schumacher here, because those curves are pretty big. I remember seeing like pushing hard and crashing to that wall, right?
That wall was right there.
Yeah. I remember this corner pretty well. Then it goes into quite a fast part of the track.
And your uncle crashed into the wall over there, and down at the bottom end near the hairpin is where Mansell brake tested.
Yeah, he brake tested. Absolutely, yeah. He would never crash into the back of Mansell, I don't think. Nah, this is pretty cool, man.
Ayrton is the only non-Australian driver that I'm aware of that had a part of the circuit named after him.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty cool. I mean, when you see it, it's like it's been here for so many years. It has so much history. Even though it's a public space, people come and love it. Thanks for touring me, man. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Mansell, Patrese is third, Schumacher is fourth, Alesi brilliantly up to fifth position. Down to sixth goes Gerhard Berger, and now is the time for the Williams to try to get away. But this is the time when McLaren will be strongest, and Senna goes through. Senna leads, Mansell retakes it. Wow, already the Titans are fighting. Well, we always knew that this Australian Grand Prix was a potential ripper, and it's turning out to be just that. Mansell leads Senna.
Tremendous stuff. Ayrton Senna making a bid. That was a real do-or-die effort. He's frightened that Mansell's going to get away because the superiority of the Williams was there in practice. It was there in the warm-up this morning, not in Mansell's case because he had an engine problem, but certainly in the case of Patrese, and Senna is really charging.
So Mansell with Senna tucked up behind him. Senna is giving Mansell no rest at all. The last Grand Prix in their present circumstances for both of them. Each regards the other as his main rival, and rightly so. And what a classic this is turning out to be. Race order on lap 3. Mansell leads, Senna second, Patrese third, Schumacher is fourth, Berger is fifth, Alesi is in sixth position, Brundle is in seventh, he's gained a place. Eighth is Andrea De Cesaris, ninth is Mika Häkkinen, 10th is Comas, 11th is Modena, 12th is Morbidelli. And we're going down the Jack Brabham straight now, 6th gear, 310 kilometres an hour, hard on the brakes for racetrack hairpin, accelerate away. Well, there you can see the gap. Patrese third, right behind him is Schumacher, right behind him is Gerhard Berger.
Can he get close enough? There are the leaders. Mansell leads. Senna starting to struggle to hold on. Behind them is Patrese in the background with Berger rather, trying to get close, trying to get the toe. I think Cesaris gave him a nudge, but he was certainly pressuring him. And here are the leaders. There's Mansell. And he's just starting to get the better of Ayrton Senna, but really this has been a heroic performance over the opening laps by Ayrton Senna, showing us just why he is the world's #1 driver, in that with quite a car disadvantage, he's harried and hassled Nigel Mansell, but Mansell has kept cool and is now using the superior performance of the Williams to start to open a small gap. Meanwhile, they're absolutely charged away from Riccardo Patrese.
Out of it, they're doing 165k. Second gear, right-hander, up to East Terrace and Marquette's turn. You'll see the Marquettes on the left as they take it. Then from there into the right-hander, the very demanding right-hander. That's it, Stag turn. Lots of people have gone off. Mansell is increasing his lead. Now they're going down Rundle Road into the 160k right-hander, Brewery Bend, up through the gears, from third to fourth, from fourth to fifth, from fifth to sixth, 310k's. Hang on, full power, 750 horsepower plus, down through the gears, hard on the brakes. The discs glow, second gear, racetrack hairpin, up into third, swing left, paddock turn. And Mansell has got another tail ender in front of him. I saw a flash of a scarlet car. It might be a Dallara, it might be a Ferrari. Now this is the completion of the lap, and it is Nicola Larini in the actively suspended Ferrari that Mansell is about to lap with other cars. Now this is Senna's golden opportunity. He, like Mansell, can see the cars ahead that the world champion is closing up onto lap, and Senna will try to close on Mansell in the hope of being able to exploit an opportunity.
Berger by no means close enough, and there are the leaders, and Senna really trying with the back markers, and that's just what he was looking for. He got close enough, and we missed it, but Senna must have had a real go then, and there's still a car in front of them.
They'll both go out! Senna, Mansell was destined not to finish the Australian Grand Prix, and that's exactly the same situation for Ayrton Senna that he was in the previous year with his left wheel, and Mansell is furious! You have destroyed my opportunity of winning the 10th Grand Prix of the year, and Ayrton Senna, with Nigel Mansell's body language saying a mixture of resignation and fury, and that is... Well, Senna stalks away. Mansell, oh, hello. Are we going to have a bit of a discussion here? Because Mansell looks as though he's trying to catch him up. That is Streng Verboten, actually, to cross the course, but I don't suppose Mansell cares too much now. Is he out of Formula One? Have we seen the last of the world champion Nigel Mansell, and for that matter, 3 times world champion Ayrton Senna?
And what a pity for the race to finish like that, particularly for Nigel Mansell, who one would have to say was the innocent party in that. Hopefully we'll see a replay of that. It happened so quickly, I was found it difficult to see. Well, here we go. Now, Senna was trying to take advantage of the back marker situation. He tries to get inside Mansell. He loses the back of his car, and Nigel Mansell, absolutely the innocent party in that. Ayrton Senna really sticking his neck out, going for it. And what a pity that the race should finish in that.
The Australian icon is celebrating 60 years on the track. Flamboyant flag waver Glenn Dix is showing age is no barrier. The colourful character has lost none of his style as he continues to help the sport that propelled him to stardom.
He's the motorsport icon who's been waving winners home for more than half a century.
Glenn Dix, as ever, performs contortions on the line.
Now well into his 70s, Glenn still parades the style that made him famous. Returning to Rowley Park where his career began, the 78-year-old is marking 6 decades on the track, even outlasting the old Torrens Road Speedway.
I suppose to do anything for 60 years is quite a contribution, but I've enjoyed those 60 years.
Incredibly, the flamboyant flag waver was considering retiring until the Grand Prix came to town.
I never for 1 minute thought that I would have been involved in a World Championship motorsport event.
Glenn's eccentric style was beamed to millions of viewers across the world.
Glenn Dix doing his best as usual to break his wrist, elbow and shoulder all at the same time.
To get the best effect out of my flags was to put the effort into it and moving around with my feet.
Even though Glenn's flag waving days are behind him, he still regularly helps out at Malala to prepare for race days.
Go there probably 1 day a week and help to keep the place tidy.
It seems the motorsport legend's now happy to live life in the slow lane. Jack Becketta, 9 News.